Hello everyone, this is part 5 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like and subscribe. To see more, comment down below. Someone was going to pay for this. Oh yes, Naruto was going to make someone pay for this. Whether it was Anko, Kakashi, the old man, Konoha itself, Naruto was going to rain unholy hell upon them. It had been a month since becoming a genin, and he was at his wits' end with these so-called missions. They weren't missions, they were freaking chores. Why the hell was he doing the chores for people who were too lazy to do it themselves? He would have said so to the last client if it wasn't for Kakashi. Kakashi explained to him that these missions were to promote team unity. Naruto scoffed at that, as that was a joke to him. Naruto did not consider either Sasuke or Sakura his teammates. They didn't treat him like a teammate, so why should he? It wasn't that he didn't try to be a better teammate to the two, but they wouldn't allow him in. He just gave up after Sasuke ordered him on one mission to use his Kage Bunshin, shadow clone, to do his work. Sakura, like a loyal fangirl, agreed with him. He told them both off and did his work. He told himself that he would work with the two, but that was about it. Position C, are you there? Kakashi's voice came through the radio. Yeah, I'm here. I've got my eye on the target. Naruto said. Okay then, move in and capture. Remember, we are to capture it, not kill it. Kakashi ordered. I got you. It isn't like we haven't caught the damn cat 10 times already. Every time we do, it attempts to rip our faces off, Naruto exclaimed. That's enough. Just do the mission and capture the target. Naruto didn't say anything and charged at the target. The target saw him coming and attempted to run. As the target tried to run, his avenue of escape was cut off by Sakura. They tried another escape only to find it cut off by Sasuke. That's when the target was strung up with ninja wire. Naruto looked up at the target and made sure that it wasn't going anywhere. Sakura walked up to Naruto and had a frown on her face. Hey Naruto, didn't you hear Sensei? He said not to kill the target. Sakura said with a tone. The target isn't dead. I, for one, do not wish to be clawed every damn time we catch her. This way, we can safely take her back without being scratched. Naruto said. Either way, make sure that it's her. Sasuke said. Are you kidding me? Naruto asked sarcastically. Sasuke ignored him and checked for the red ribbon. He touched his neck. Target is confirmed. We have Tora. Sasuke reported. Good work, come back and we'll return to the Hokage Tower. Naruto, you and I need to have a discussion about your attitude toward the chain of command. Kakashi said. And that discussion will end the same way as always does. I'll listen, I'll pretend to care, and I'll move on. Naruto said and took the radio out of his ear. He tossed it and made his way to the tower, leaving Sasuke and Sakura to deal with the cat. Naruto watched as the daimyo's wife crushed her cat. Naruto thought that was divine justice that it was happening. As she left with her cat, Naruto stood in front of the Hokage. He gave him a look, almost daring him to give him another lame mission. Hiruzen looked at him and smirked a little. He was proud of him for keeping his anger in check, but he could see that it was about to end. He knew that there was a poll going about how long it would take the blonde to explode. Very good, Team 7. Now, what is there left for you? We have several D-rank missions available. Hiruzen said. That's it, I've had enough. I will not do another one of these chores, Naruto shouted. Some of the Anbu hid and cursed as they had lost the poll. Iruka looked really upset by how Naruto was acting. That's enough, Naruto. You have been a genin for only a month. These missions are all you can do for now, Iruka explained. Oh come on, you can't call them missions. They're chores, plain and simple. You can justify it any way you want, but the fact is that we're doing the chores of people who are too lazy to do it themselves. Naruto said. Why you? Iruka said. That's enough, you two. Naruto, do you even know why you do D-rank missions? Hiruzen asked. It's to promote unity and all that. A more difficult mission would do the same thing. Weren't we trained to do such missions? I just want a mission that shows that we're prepared for the real world. I'm just asking for a chance to show that I have matured enough to be trusted with a more difficult mission. Naruto said. The small speech made the Hokage smile. It did seem that Naruto was growing up some. I guess I can agree to that, considering the alternative should I disagree. Do you believe that they are ready, Kakashi? Hiruzen asked. I don't see why not. It would be a very good experience for them. Kakashi said. Very well. I do have a C rank here. Please bring in the client. The Hokage ordered. The doors opened to reveal a drunken man dressed in some pretty old clothes. His cheeks and nose was red, probably from the liquor. He looked at the team and frowned. What is this? I asked for ninja, not some snot-nosed little brats. The short blonde one looks like the most stupid of the three. He commented. As he was about to take a swig of his sake, a kunai flew well below the waistline and embedded into the wall. The man gulped and looked at the boy he had just insulted. You want to say that again, old man? Naruto snarled. That'll be enough, Naruto. This man is your client. His name is Tazuna. Team 7 is tasked with his protection to Nami no Kuni, Land of Waves. You will continue to protect him until the bridge he is building is finished. Do you understand? Hiruzen asked. Yes, Hokage-sama, they said. They left to get packed for the mission. Naruto was waiting along with Sasuke and Sakura for Kakashi and Tazuna. He was flipping a kunai in his hand and was debating on what to do with it. He wondered how much longer it would take Kakashi when he appeared with Tazuna in tow. He saw that Tazuna took a few steps behind Kakashi as he saw the kunai. He just smirked and grinned at him. That's when he got a familiar feeling and whipped out another kunai. He spun to block the first attack and lashed out with the kunai in a reverse grip. The attacker blocked his attack with their own kunai and then engaged Naruto in a duel of blades. After a few seconds, Naruto held the attacker at bay as they attempted to overpower him. Seeing that Naruto was holding him back, they let out a happy grunt. You're getting better at this, brat. Looks like we're at a stalemate, she said. That's what you think, Naruto said through a muffled mouth. The reason for that was that Naruto had a kunai in his mouth and the tip of his blade right at the spot where her kidneys were. She saw the grin on his face and growled. All right, you smug little bastard, you win this round. The two stopped their attacks, but Naruto was still on guard. It was Anko after all. Don't worry, brat, I won't hurt on your first mission outside. Anko said. Swear on it. Naruto demanded. I swear on Iruka's cute butt, that I won't attack you. Anko said with annoyance. Naruto relaxed after that. Anko looked at him before smiling. That was a good counter. I didn't even see you put the kunai in your mouth. I don't have to worry about you now. Careful, you don't want people to get the wrong idea. Naruto said with a smirk. Like they would say anything knowing that it's me. Anko replied. Excuse me, a loud voice called out. They too turned toward the voice and saw that it was Sakura. What was that about? Wow, she really is loud. Anko said. Told you, Naruto said. Kakashi stepped forward and faced Anko. If you're done, Anko, my team and I need to move out. Kakashi said. Oh, before you go, I need to talk to you privately for a second. Anko said and led Kakashi away from his team. Alone, Naruto's two teammates and client looked at him. Who was that, Naruto? Asked Sakura. That's Anko, my one-ison. Naruto answered. That was amazing, kid. I'm sorry that I insulted you earlier. Tazuna apologized. It's okay. I wouldn't be as good as I am if it wasn't because of her. Naruto said. A short while later, the two returned. Naruto couldn't tell because of the mask, but Kakashi looked a little pale. Anko just had a big grin on her face. Well, brat, you take care and do your job well. We'll talk when you get back. Anko said. Okay, Anko one-ison. Naruto said. He and his team left through the gates and into the world. The team was walking for a few hours and could no longer see the gates. They moved in diamond formation. Sasuke was up front, Sakura and Naruto were at the flanks, and Kakashi was taking up the rear. As they walked, Sakura noticed a book in Naruto's hands. She was curious and decided to ask him about it. Hey Naruto, what's that? she asked. It's a geography book that I brought. I figure I should read up on the area that we're going to. Naruto explained. Why would you do that? Sakura asked. So I can be prepared. Anko One-san taught me to always know where you're going, as it can be an advantage to you and your team. It makes the mission that much easier. Naruto answered. Okay. Say, why do you call her your One-san? I thought that you were an orphan. She said. Thanks for saying that so casually, Sakura. Naruto said with annoyance. Sakura realized what she said and wanted to apologize for it. Naruto cut her off before she could do so. She's one of the few that gave a damn about me. She taught me how to be a shinobi and treated me with respect. She's like a sister to me. That was an unusual person to choose, Naruto. Kakashi said. Well, no one else made any type of move except the few I respect. Besides, she's not unusual. She's batshit crazy is what she is. Naruto explained. Back in Konoha, Anko stabbed the stand at the dango shop with a kunai. As people backed away from her, she could help but feel like killing something small. Sakura turned her attention to Tazuna after her questions were answered and asked about his home. As they continued to talk and walk, a puddle was in the middle of the road. Kakashi saw it and ignored it. They walked past it and continued on. That's when two men appeared out of the puddle. Naruto's danger sense kicked in and a kunai appeared in his hand. He spun to see his sensei wrapped in a shuriken chain, which was held by two men. They pulled the chain and the genin watched as Kakashi was torn in pieces. The two then made their move toward the team. Sasuke was the first to move, throwing a shuriken and pinning the chain to a tree. He threw a kunai to make the chain stick. Naruto made his move and appeared in front of one of the two attackers. He used his kunai, slashing at the left ninja's legs. He cried out as he dropped to the ground after his legs gave out on him from the wounds. Sasuke appeared and kicked the other guy, who was cried out at seeing his partner hit the ground. He disengaged himself from the chain and moved to take out Naruto. Naruto met the charge and slipped another kunai out. That's when the man's momentum was stopped by a clothesline from Kakashi. He let out a gasp before going limp in the crook of his arm. He looked at the other man and saw that he was still alive. He looked at Naruto, who was putting his weapons away. That was kind of vicious, Naruto. Kakashi said. What are you talking about? I only took his legs out from under him. He won't die from those cuts. He'll just be in a lot of pain. Naruto said. How are you still alive, sensei? We watched you get killed, Sakura exclaimed. Naruto pointed to the pieces of wood that lay on the ground. A Kawarimi no Jutsu, body replacement technique, Sakura said with confusion. Naruto ignored her and checked the headband of the two shinobi. These guys are Kiri shinobi. I didn't know Kiri operated out here. I thought they were still in the grips of a civil war. Naruto said. They are, and these two are no longer Kiri shinobi. They must be Nukanen, missing Nin. Kakashi said. Why would Kiri Nukanen what with us? Asked Sasuke. That's a good question. Perhaps you can tell us, Tazuna. Kakashi said. Everyone turned to the old man, who suddenly looked very nervous. Chapter 10. Team Kakashi sat in a rowboat on their way to Nami no Kuni, Land of Waves. After tying up the Oni Kyodai, demon brothers, Kakashi demanded that Tazuna told them what was going on. Tazuna relented and told him about Gato. Gato held Nami on Kuni in an iron grip with tyranny and violence. He told him about how he had cornered the shipping rights to the village. He would choke the business along the wharf and the prices were tripled for what they usually were. Anyone who spoke out against him was killed. Tazuna said that if his bridge connected with the mainland, then it would put a dent in Gato's hold over the country. Kakashi understood Tazuna's plight, but he knew that this mission was no longer a C-rank mission. Because of the involvement of shinobi, the mission had a good chance of being an A-rank mission. He left the decision up to his students, hoping that they would select to turn back. He should have known better, as Naruto and Sasuke wanted to continue. Sakura just agreed with Sasuke. Outvoted, he continued on with Tazuna to Nami no Kuni. The boat landed on the shore and the team was once walking toward their destination. They were walking for about 30 minutes when Naruto suddenly stopped. He looked toward the trees and narrowed his eyes. He slipped a kunai out and stared at the trees. His training with Anko had made him a bit paranoid at times. Anko believed in the art of the ambush and would constantly attack from out of nowhere. Because of that, Naruto developed his sense of awareness and danger. Right now, it was going haywire. Someone was ghosting them. "Naruto, what are you standing there for?" exclaimed Sakura. Naruto ignored her and kept on looking into the forest. Sakura walked up to him and slapped him upside the head. Naruto turned and glared at Sakura, who glared right back. "What the hell was that for?" Naruto growled. "You're holding us up. Come on, we have to get Tazuna home," Sakura said and walked away. Naruto took one last glance into the forest before following Sakura. He caught with her and tripped her up, making her stumble. Sakura glared at the blonde who just smirked at her. When they were gone, two figures jumped out of the forest and onto the path they were on. "Well, that kid nearly caught us," said the shorter of the two. The guy wore a mask like the Anbu. He wore a moss green, striped turtleneck sweater and a split skirt in matching color that reached down to their knees. On the outside of that, they wore a green-blue short kimono with white edges, and around their waist a green-brown obi, in the same fabric as the sweater, with a fringed trail. They also wore light brown platoon sandals with straps in the same color as the kimono and nail polish on his fingernails and toenails in matching blue-green color. His long hair was gathered in a white bun holder tied with a green-blue, while two locks of their hair fell loose, framing their face, bound with metal hair cuffs at the ends. "Yes, he's either a Sonor or he is very well in tune with his surrounds," said the taller man. He was wearing bandages like a mask over the bottom half of his face. He was shirtless, with his chest only covered by a belt to which was attached to a huge blade, wearing baggy pants with the striped pattern typical of Kirigakure and mimetic wrist warmers extending up to his elbows, with matching leg warmers. His high-tie was worn sideways on his head. "Perhaps we should call off the ambush you have planned," the shorter one said. "It won't matter if he sees us coming. He's just a genin by the looks of it. The one that I'm worried about is the sensei." Who would have thought that the famed Sharingan no Kakashi of the Sharingan would be the Jonin in charge? "You will keep an eye on the battle and let me know of any weaknesses," he ordered. "Understood, Zabuza-sama," the young teen said. The two vanished back into the forest. Naruto was still on edge and kept his senses sharp just in case. He didn't know who was ghosting them, but whoever they were keeping their distance. He could still feel them, though not as much as before. He stayed close to Tazuna and readied himself for anything. Kakashi saw this and readied himself as well. Sasuke ignored Naruto's caution, as did Sakura. They just thought he was being paranoid and stupid. Suddenly, Naruto's kunai was in his hand and flying. It hit something with a thunk, letting him know that his kunai hit a tree. He pulled out two more kunai and took a defensive stance by Tazuna. Kakashi followed him and pulled out a kunai of his own. "What is it, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. "We're being watched. Someone has been ghosting us since we landed. I can feel them all around us," Naruto said seriously. What are you talking about? There's no one out there." "Stop trying to act cool," Sakura said. "Shut your mouth and keep quiet," Naruto hissed. "This is not the damn time to act like an ignorant, spoiled child. I know the feeling of dread when I feel it, and it is intensified now. Whoever is out here is incredibly strong." Naruto's serious words snapped Sasuke into battle mood. Sakura followed soon after and looked around the forest. That's when they heard chuckling. "Well now, unlike your two teammates, you're taking this very seriously. I thought that Konoha's methods were very soft when it came to training their genin," the voice said. They all searched the area as the voice sounded like it came from everywhere. Naruto looked around and wondered where the attack was coming from. That's when he heard the sound of something flying through the air. "Get down," Kakashi shouted. Naruto pulled Tazuna to the ground and covered him as a large projectile flew past them. Naruto looked up to see a large sword embedded into a tree. Seconds later, a ninja appeared on the handle. He looked down at the team. Kakashi stepped forward and faced this new threat. "Momochi Zabuza, the Kirigakure no Kijin. Demon of the Mist," Kakashi said. "And I know of you, Hatake Kakashi. Or do you prefer Sharingan no Kakashi?" Zabuza asked. "Whatever suits you, Zabuza," Kakashi said. He spared his team a glance. "Protect Tazuna. This fight is way beyond you. Use the Manji no Jin, Manji formation, and do not interfere." The team nodded and protected Tazuna. Kakashi raised his Hitai 8 to reveal the Sharingan. This made Zabuza smile. "Well, I should feel honored that you would reveal the Sharingan so early," Zabuza said. This surprised Sakura and Sasuke mostly. "How does he have the Sharingan?" Sasuke asked with shock. "Is that really a question you should be asking? Just focus on the task at hand," Naruto said and watched Zabuza for any movement. "I like him. I would say he is a product of you, but seeing that your other two genin aren't like him, he has been taught by another. Either way, I will spare you and your students if you just hand me the old man," Zabuza said. "Sorry to say that I will not be able to agree to your request. We are tasked with his protection and that's what we are going to do," Kakashi said. "Very well then." Zabuza disappeared with his blade. He appeared on the surface of the water and did a seal. Kirigakure no Jutsu. Hiding in the mist technique, a dense mist appeared and surrounded the area. Kakashi narrowed his eyes at the mist. So, this is the specialty of Zabuza. He is the master of the Serento Karingu, silent killing, method. He can move silently around the mist and strike from anywhere. I have to be alert as he will come for me first, Kakashi thought. He released his chakra to disperse some of the mist. He noticed that Sasuke was not holding up well due to Zabuza's taunts and the killing intent. He looked at the boy with an eye smile. "Don't worry, Sasuke, I won't allow my team to die." "Bold words, Kakashi, considering that it's already over," Zabuza said. He appeared right in the middle of the group, his sword ready to cleave everyone in half. Naruto reacted by kicking both of his teammates away. He pushed Tazuna to the ground and used his back as a surface, lashing out with a kick to Zabuza's ribs. Zabuza saw a glint of light and back away a short step. He watched the hidden blade pass by him and swung his blade in a downward arc. Naruto used his momentum to move himself and Tazuna out of the way from the deadly strike. Kakashi appeared quickly and stabbed Zabuza in the gut. This happened in a matter of seconds. Naruto looked at the two and noticed that water was leaking instead of blood. He yelled out to Kakashi, but it was too late as Zabuza appeared behind him. Zabuza's Mizu Bunshin, water clone, dissolved and Zabuza cut Kakashi in two. Zabuza smirked, but it soon fell when Kakashi dissolved into water as well. Zabuza was so stunned by the fact Kakashi copied his technique in the mist. Kakashi appeared behind him and held a kunai to his neck. He told him that the fight was over, but Zabuza had other plans. It was Kakashi's turn to be surprised when Zabuza dissolved into water as well. He then ducks when he heard Zabuza's huge blade in the air. Zabuza used the handle of his sword to give him leverage as he kicked Kakashi clear across the area. Kakashi landed in the water and went under. Kakashi was surprised by the power of the kick but had to get to the surface quickly before Zabuza killed his students. He broke the water's surface and searched for Zabuza. He suddenly felt that the water got heavy. He attempted to get out of the water, but Zabuza appeared above him. That was a huge mistake, Kakashi. Suiro no Jutsu, water prison technique, Zabuza called out. Kakashi cursed as he was captured. On the land, the team watched as Zabuza held Kakashi hostage. Naruto sucked his teeth and readied himself for a fight. He summoned some clones which caught everyone's attention. "You two stay with Sakura and protect Tazuna. Team, you're with me," Naruto spoke. "What are you thinking? We have to get Tazuna out of here," Sakura exclaimed. "That isn't an option here. Zabuza has Kakashi right where he wants him. If we run, he'll just kill him and chase us down within moments. Our best bet is to free Kakashi, Naruto said. Now, listen Naruto, Sakura said. No, you listen. I've had it up to here with your whining. You're a damn kunoichi, so start to act like one. Protect the client with my clones and stay out of our way, Naruto roared. Naruto then faced Sasuke. Are you ready, because I have a plan to get Kakashi out of the mess he got himself in? You actually got a plan, Sasuke mocked. Naruto ignored him and threw something at him. Just be prepared to throw that when you got a clear shot at the original, Naruto said. He and his clones looked forward to see that Zabuza had created a clone to face them. That son of a bitch is mocking us. He thinks that his Mizu Bunshin will be enough to deal with us. Well, I'll show him. Naruto and his clones charged at the approaching clone. The clone waited for him and his clones to reach him. He was impressed with movement and the speed at which he came at him with. He readied himself as two copies of Naruto appeared. One was behind the other in an attempt to hide an attack. One launched himself in the air while the other charged at him. The Mizu Bunshin cut him down immediately and raised his sword to protect himself from the barrage of shuriken. He kicked away a clone that attempted to flank him and kicked the airborne Naruto out of the air. Both were dispelled by the attacks. The last three attempted to bull rush him, but Mizu Bunshin cut him down with no difficulty. The clone faced the two remaining clone who stood with the girl and boy. He smirked at them and made his way over to them. That's when Sasuke tried his luck against Zabuza, despite Naruto's clone protest. Zabuza easily catches the boy with one arm and slammed him down to the ground hard. You wannabe shinobi make me sick. You think that you could take me? You're not even fit to lick my feet. The clone mocked. Suddenly, the clone felt something stab him in the neck. It gurgled before dissolving into water and right on Sasuke. He got the water out of his face and turned to see Naruto. He looked to see that the two clones were still there and was wondering where he came from. Naruto ignored him and grabbed the weapon he gave Sasuke earlier. He threw it at him with a glare. Next time, stick to the damn plan. I'm going to give you another shot, so you better follow through with it, Naruto said with a hard tone. He stepped forward, did a familiar seal. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto called out. The field was littered with clones, all ready for a fight. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe, and see you guys later.